This day, the Russians fired rockets at Krasnopillia in Sumy region. This was announced by the head of Sumy Regional Military Administration, Dmytro Zhivetsky. He said that according to preliminary information, the missiles were launched from a plane that did not cross the state border with Ukraine. The houses of civilians in Krasnopillia have been affected. About 20 houses and power lines have been damaged. Half of the village is left without electricity, the head of the region said on his telegram. Preliminarily, there are no casualties. On the morning of May the 25th, the Russian army fired 4 cruise missiles at Zaporizhzhia. This was reported by the Regional Military Administration. One of the missiles was shot down by Ukrainian air defense forces. The other 3 ended up in residential areas of the city and a shopping center.
At least 62 homes in the private sector have been damaged. It is currently known that 1 woman was killed and 3 other people were injured.
The Russian army continues to destroy Ukraine's civilian infrastructure. A gymnasium and a historic building in Orikhiv, Zaporizhzhia region, came under enemy fire. The shelling of the school destroyed a computer classroom with new equipment, a museum, and other premises.
On the first floor, we had a very beautiful botanical garden. I don't know how many plants there were, not thousands, probably over 100. It was very beautiful there. It was. Well, it will be again.
The shells also hit a historic building, the house of the Mennonite Johann Jansen, who made a great contribution to the development of the town.
Enemy shelling damaged an ancient Mennonite estate, the historic house of Johann Jansen built in 1970s. This is one of the most beautiful buildings in Orikhiv, where Orikhiv City Council used to work. Due to the Russian attack, the windows of the estate were damaged and the front door was smashed. The walls and ancient stucco are cut into pieces, and part of the roof and the second floor are completely destroyed.
Previously, the Russian army destroyed 8 architectural monuments in Zaporizhzhia region. The current day, the Russian military fired at Azot plant. 4 people were killed and 3 others were injured, as reported by Serhiy Haidai, the head of Luhansk Regional Military Administration. Another resident was seriously injured in the central part of the town. He was quickly taken to humanitarian headquarters and treated, but the injury was incompatible with life. In total, for the past 24 hours, 6 civilians were killed and 8 injured in Sievierodonetsk. 1 woman had to have her leg amputated, said Serhiy Haidai. The head of Donetsk Regional Military Administration, Pavlo Kyrylenko, said that the Russian army had killed 12 civilians in Donetsk region and wounded 10 others the current day. The Russian army fired at 18 settlements, destroying 45 civilian objects: houses, a hospital, a railway station, a factory, and a construction company. According to the national police, civilians were fired upon from aircraft, tanks, heavy artillery, missiles, and Grad and Uragan multiple rocket launchers. Police have opened criminal proceedings for violating the laws and customs of war. During the current day in the Derhachi community, as a result of the Russian shelling, a fire broke out in a trade establishment. The fire engulfed about 1,000 square meters area. It was being extinguished for more than 10 hours, said the SES. Later, the head of Kharkiv Regional Military Administration, Oleg Sinigubov, added on his telegram that a 69-year-old woman had been killed and another local man had been injured in the shelling. Suspilne released a video of the consequences of the missile strike on the town of Merefa in Kharkiv region. Part of the city has been left without electricity. At least 30 houses were damaged in the attack. This was announced by the head of Merefa community, Veniamin Sitov. In a comment to Suspilne, he said that 3 missiles had been fired at the town, one of which had been shot by the air defense forces, and 2 had hit critical infrastructure. There are no human casualties. According to Sitov, 5 people died in the community during the 3 months of the war. In early March, Izium resident Hayana Chudenko and her 5-year-old daughter walked 20 kilometers from Izium to the village of Sukha Kamenka to escape the shelling. On one side, we have Svetohirsk. On the other side, there's Kamenka. Both had been bombed. We walked through some forests all the time. We went down to the ravine. They all were exhausted. My Aunt Nadia's blood pressure bottomed out. She said she could no longer walk, asked to leave her there to die. And then I heard a strange sound. Something was flying somewhere close, and it was flying and flying all the time. I had a bad feeling. I said we had to leave immediately. As we reached the clearing, a rocket hit the place where we were, followed by shelling of the place. Bullets hit right under our feet. We fell on the children and just looked at each other while lying down. And we didn't understand if we were alive or got shot. My girl was lying under me, and I knew at that moment I had no right to die. The child should not see the parent dying on her. I ask myself all the time if she will be able to forget it someday. The corpse she stepped over to survive. The shelling as she was lying beneath me. Can she ever forget that? Is there any button to help erase her memory?
Есть эта кнопка, которая поможет стереть ее память.
Volunteers met the women in Sukha Kamenka. They could not pick them up sooner because of shelling.